Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CSTV. I'm your host, Kathleen, and this is The Strike. Now, the striker today takes us to a police officer in Kabete who actually killed his 3 months girlfriend who he had set a pair for, and killed 5 people in a spree as they were trying to get hold of him, and ended up killing himself. Now, sources also indicated that this police officer had a murder case that was pending in court. Now, other sources also tell us that this man was short-tempered, that the media that has been able to interview even some of his colleagues says that this man was short-tempered, that a small joke could turn out a dirty one. It could be as such a serious thing, and he was always a loner who never used to interact with people so much. So my concern was we have this police officer, even the colleagues knows that he's short-tempered, and a slight thing becomes a huge thing to him, and by the end of the day we see this man killing 7 people, including himself. So I asked myself, how many people that this police officer has shot dead in his line of duty because of his short temper and not because of the crime they committed? And I asked myself, what does the government security agencies do when you realize, for example, you have an officer who is short-tempered? And I'm asking this because, if you are short-tempered but you don't have access to weapons, we can say that people are somehow safe. But imagine somebody short-tempered and is able to access weapons so easily. How do you go about that? How safe and how secure are even other police officers in such a situation working with this person? And that's why I've always said that a lot has to be reformed and a lot has to be done within the National Police Service of this country. And for me, these reforms don't even need to be big reforms. These reforms have to start from small things that we actually assume as easily manageable, but which actually puts the life of the police officers and the life of the citizenry at jeopardy. You see, this police officer has killed 7 people. That's a very big loss. He has killed 7 people, including himself. That's a very, very big loss. Imagine if we have another one doing that. The other day we saw a red police officer killing people in a spree. 4 people once. So the aspect of police officers using their guns to kill other people and to kill themselves is something that actually needs an honest conversation. And it is something that does not need threats, because maybe there's a lot of depression among police officers, and that then calls for an efficient and effective mental health management, counseling services within the police service. And then there may be that also that police needs and wants have not yet been fully met, so they are living with frustrations. And I think it's high time that the government of today sits down and looks at the police service as a very essential unit in this country and solve these problems within the service. And why I'm saying this is because, sometimes we treat the police service like another union in this country. No, they are not a union. Those are the people at the center of security of this country. And any slight mistake at that center can put the entire country into jeopardy. So for me, it is a call to the government and the top security agencies and leadership, to the IG, to the Minister of Interior, to the Minister of Defense. You know, these are departments that are interrelated, to sit down and look at a police officer in this country as an agenda. We really need to discuss our police officers. And this discussion should not be a discussion of incriminating them. It should not be a discussion of marginalizing them. It should be a discussion of emancipating them and finding a solution to what is happening within the police service. We really need even to come up with laws on how these police officers use their guns. And I've always asked myself, why should a police officer go to sleep with a gun in his house? I've never understood this. Why? Why should a police officer go to sleep at his place with a gun? We have families. Why? Because I expect this man to come home like a husband, not a police officer. So why are they going with these guns at home? And these are the same guns that, one, end up killing people, two, end up being used improperly with violence. That's how our police officers becomes easy targets of these groups like Gaza, who attack police officers with an aim of getting weapons from them. So for me, it is like the killing that were conducted by this police officer from Kabete. Please let this be the last one. That a police officer has used a gun and killed the wife, the members of the public, including himself. How I wish that this could be the last report we have of police using his guns to carry out a killing spree. I wish that these killings could bring the concerned stakeholders together and discuss a police officer as an agenda. How do we emancipate? How do we improve the National Police Service? Both for the good of the police officers themselves and for the goods of the Kenyan citizenry. I don't know. Share your opinion. What do you think might be wrong within the police service that we have a lot of killings by the police officers, either to their partners, themselves, or to the members of the public? Stay tuned and remember to subscribe. This is The Striker. We meet next time.